At numerous medical conventions and health summits, he brings voice to various young people and middle-class families. Aaron serves on the Bureau of Speakers of the Democratic Women's Club of Florida and is a member of the Democratic Women's Club of Central Pinellas, as well as a financial advisor to the political committee of the Democratic Women's Club of Florida. Aaron also spends much of his time fundraising for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, working with children who are currently with and battling cancer at the Stephen D. Hassenfeld Children's Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders at NYU Langone Medical Center in New York City. Aaron has previously served as region lead to the Millennial Council of Ready for Hillary, the super PAC who laid the groundwork to encourage former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton to run for President of the United States in 2016. Aaron is currently a surrogate on behalf of the presidential campaign of Hillary Clinton and organizes events and volunteer teams and organizes for Hillary for America.
I'm happy to be here today. Elaine has been asking me for quite some time to come and talk with you guys, and I know this is a nonpartisan organization, but when it comes to partisan organizations here in Pasco County, I literally, after today, will have been at every Democratic club, caucus, or committee in this entire county. Don't you love that?
That's Hillary.
Yeah.
That's Hillary doll talks.
Of course. So I want to thank all of you for being here today at the Pasco County chapter of the National Organization for Women. I've gotten a chance to meet Bonnie. I don't think I've met anybody else in this room with the work that I've done with Ready for Hillary, traveling all over this state. And what I love to do in doing that and talking about women's issues and really putting that at the forefront of American and global politics and the state politics that we have here in Florida, it's awesome because I'm really getting to move forward a progressive, pragmatic agenda that is fair and inclusive of women and girls everywhere. Now, as she was saying, my name was Aaron, and I'm so happy that you got to pick me and that you picked me out of all the people to come here and talk to you today, because Elaine has been asking me for a while, and I just am now getting the time kind of in my schedule to come back here to Pasco County. I think it's really important to stress that we need to ensure that we elect other pro-choice, whether they're Democrat or Republican, individuals down the ticket in 2016, like our State House representative here in District 36, which is Amanda Murphy, who resides here in Pasco County. We love her. She's one of 39 Democrats in the entire State House. And I know that you were just talking about the abortion bill, which I went to Tallahassee and I lobbied against Jennifer Sullivan, a girl who is not much older than I, that the Republicans are using as a voice to really fight back against the interests of women and girls all over this state and the reproductive health care choices that are violating their God-given human rights. And of course, and in the process of people like Amanda Murphy electing other pro-choice women like Hillary Clinton as the first woman president of the United States of America. You know, 2016 is truly the year of both the Democratic woman and there will be pro-choice Republican women, I hope, as well, that will be running from the top of the ticket all the way down. But before I speak briefly today about Hillary for America and why I am supporting and why I hope that you will support Hillary Clinton for president, I briefly would like to acknowledge the tragic situation that has unfolded in Charleston, South Carolina. More than 50 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told the families of the girls killed in the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, that you do not walk alone. Today we say to the families of Mother Emanuel and to all the people of Charleston, South Carolina, that you do not walk alone. You do not walk alone because millions of Americans, regardless of race, creed, ethnicity, or religion, are walking with you. And we here in Florida, and especially we here in this room today in Pasco County, are walking with the people of Charleston, South Carolina. In grief, in solidarity, and in determination, we are with you. And we stand with you as we seek answers and as we hopefully take action and doing everything that we can to take preventative measures to ensure that tragic situations like this do not happen in the future. For the most part, most of that was a quote from Hillary Clinton just days ago at the National Association of Latino Elected Officials in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I love Pasco County, believe it or not, and all of the counties that I have traveled. You guys are probably the most sane bunch of people in the entire state, and he hasn't gotten to those in Pasco County. I love coming back here, like I said. It's always such a privilege to come back here. One of my first jobs out of college, Dale knows this, I was a musical theater major, and it was in Hudson, which is here in Pasco County, and it was at the Show Palace Dinner Theater. It was kind of like, you're familiar. And I had done a show there in 2012, which was really cool because I got to be down here to kind of see how the Republican National Convention worked in Tampa and helping out a little bit to ensure that I did my part here in Florida to help make sure that we elected Barack Obama to his second term as president. You know, I do love Pasco County, and as I was saying, and I was here just last Saturday, talking about gun violence, the need for reform and regulation, and a nonpartisan group that I have done a lot of work with my friend Shannon Watts, who's the founder of this organization, and it's called Moms Demand Action for Common Gun Sense in America. I spoke about many of the state laws that we have in this state that have to do with guns, but just this past session, that people like Representative Amanda Murphy and, but who else? The Democrats from all over the state, and both the State House and the State Senate are having to fight back and lobby against and filibuster against many of these insane and harsh laws. I spoke about the need, in particular for the Democratic Party nationally, as well as in the state of Florida, to put this on the front lines of our party's platform to ensure that we elect Democrats that are not going to run from issues that help to shape the fabric of our lives, and that we fight back against many of these policies that hurt our families, our children, and our communities, specifically those that are having to do with gun violence. We need to elect a leader at the national level who is going to take on the gun lobby, the special interests, and but who else? The National Rifle Association. And I am here to tell you that that person to do that is former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton. You know, my brother was shot when I was in second grade, so this is a very, very personal issue for me, and is one of the many reasons that I am so invested in the candidacy of Hillary Clinton. As I had supported her in 2008, I never stopped fighting for her to run for president, worked the last 2 years with fighting for Hillary, and I am so blessed and proud and grateful that she stepped up to the plate once again and is now running for president of the United States. My main goal in coming here today is to tell you that this, believe it or not, is not a coronation. We realize that we are going to have to earn every single vote, and that's why I am truly here today. I am here to earn your support for Hillary Clinton to fight for us as president in the years ahead of 2016. I'm here today because of, but what else, the future of the Supreme Court of the United States, and how it's going to affect people like you, young people like myself, and the countless women and girls all over that are not even born yet that are going to have to face the harsh reality of Supreme Court justices that might be appointed if a Republican is president to try to overturn the common sense legislation that is Roe v. Wade. And we cannot let that happen, which is why we have to elect pro-choice, pro-women candidates, whether they are male or female, or Democrat or Republican. We must stress these issues because women's issues are family issues. And I wish that more men, especially young men, would embrace that and that they would realize that. As I tell my mother, because I was raised by a single mom, real men support women and stand up for women's rights. You know, yes, clap for that. You know, over the past year, I have traveled all over the state of Florida. I've even been to the villages. I have been to the villages. I have been to the village, and I'm going back twice. I'm going back 2 more times before October. You know, I've spoken to women, millennials like myself, seniors, veterans, and middle-class families about the need to elect Hillary Clinton as president so she can push forward and move forward a progressive agenda that is fair to each and every single one of us in this room, regardless of our financial background and means, and our ways of life, and where we come from, and who we are as people. At Hillary for America, we have one goal throughout this Democratic primary, and hopefully the general election of next year if she's the nominee, that we engage with purpose, that we organize with everything in our soul and our heart, and that we win in some way each and every single day. You know, Hillary just officially launched her campaign for president in Roosevelt Island just last week and dedicated its launch to the very important For Freedom speech by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's who I want us to get back to, is that kind of leadership in Americans' history. A president who was bipartisan, who was pragmatic, and did what he needed to get America winning again. A champion of the middle class and so much of what we stand for as pro-choice, pro-women individuals. We need happier days. You like what I did with that? I might be 24, but I know happy days are here again. A gay man that grew up on Barbra Streisand and Judy Garland. I've heard many covers and renditions. Now, we need a champion like President FDR, and Hillary Clinton is that champion who will give America a new deal and get American families winning again. Hillary chose Roosevelt Island because she wanted to really remind all of us, starting with you, that what we've done as a nation in the past and what we will do in the future when we work together, when we fight together, when we work together to strengthen the basic bargain of America. Now, you might be wondering what that is, but you really already know. I can see it on your faces. It's the idea that no matter who you are, where you live, and yes, God willing, whoever you love, if you work hard and you play by the rules, you deserve the opportunity, the same opportunities as anyone else, to make a good life for yourself, your children, and your families, and move others out of poverty in your communities and move forward the middle class in America. These are the principles that Hillary Clinton has fought for in her career as an attorney, an environmentalist, a human rights advocate, a public servant as First Lady of Arkansas, First Lady of the United States, a United States Senator from New York, a former Secretary of State under the Obama administration, an advocate of children, women, and families, a wife, a mother, now a grandmother, and all of the many things that come along with being a pro-choice, pro-woman individual. Hillary will do everything that she can to try to create better opportunities for all Americans, regardless of their political affiliation. She wants to build an economy of tomorrow, not yesterday, that works for everyone, not just the privileged few at the top and the wealthiest of Americans and the 1%. You know, I kind of see a pattern here. I know that we sometimes use the word dynasty in the political spectrum right now, but I do see a pattern here. It seems that it takes a Clinton to clean up after a Bush. And in the process of doing that, we can shatter that highest and hardest glass ceiling once and for all, and elect a woman as at the helm of the sisterhood of the traveling pantsuits movement. And that is Hillary Rodham Clinton as president. You know, over the next weeks and months, Hillary will set an agenda, not just for her running, but for us together in deciding what we will do as a nation to rebuild our government, what we will do to create American jobs and supporting small business owners, and fighting for our families, unions, and our public schools. Everybody, even the Republicans that have walked into the light and that they have seen it, has a role to play. And I personally was thrilled, and I am so grateful that so many people from around the country, right here in Florida and right here in Pasco County, have pledged their passionate support for Hillary for America. People from all over the country that are wanting to be part of a better future. They're saying that I want to be a part of a better future, an America that is fair and works for everybody. People wanting to be able to move forward, and they will do that by electing Hillary Clinton as their president. Now, it had taken a lot, as we all remember. Many of the the failing policies of the Bush administration. When he was left nothing but a national surplus, we had no deficit, and we had the creation of 22 plus million jobs under President Clinton. We need to get back to that kind of pragmatic leadership that focuses on the middle class and those who are struggling to make it in this very tough economy. We've seen so many that have had a very hard time going forth from the Great Recession. And it's true, it has been very hard on people. So many lost their homes, they lost jobs, they couldn't go to college, they could not save for retirement. And now we are standing, though we are not yet running again. And I am absolutely confident that we can run together for the kinds of gains and opportunities that we will have together when we elect Hillary Clinton as president. Universal health care coverage that is of good quality, affordable, and truly universal. These are very important themes that I don't hear any other Democrats or independent-term Democrats that are even running right now. That is paid family leave. So that way women should not be expected, nor should fathers be expected after they have a child that they have to go back to work in 2 weeks. People need time to be able to spend and bond with their babies, to get to know their babies. It's ludicrous to me. We need to be investing in early childhood development so all of these children are going to grow up to have the brightest future possible, because no child is too small to fail. We have that. We have paid family leave, paid sick leave, protecting and strengthening Social Security and Medicaid expansion, protecting and providing the promises that we have pledged to the brave young men and women who have served abroad, and helping our veterans no matter what the cost. Closing income inequality gaps so others aren't constantly living paycheck to paycheck, having to choose between their rent, their groceries, their utility bills, and their health care costs, but still hoping that they have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month to care for themselves, their children, and their families, and still hoping that they don't get sick, because even though we have the Affordable Care Act right now, there are still too many that are hurting in this particular economy because it's stagnant, it's stuck, and people still can't afford the astronomical costs of health insurance. She will do all of this while taking head-on income inequality that, of course, unfortunately exists between men and women. Fighting for women's reproductive health care, which, yes, includes abortion, which should always be legal, safe. And fighting for reproductive health care, of course, and women having the rights to their own bodies, and those in the LGBT community being able to marry the person they love and having the same rights and opportunities as heterosexual couples. All of this while we're building alliances and relationships with other nations and restoring America's integrity and leadership and image around the world. Hillary outlined what she wants to do to fix the economy, what she wants to do to make sure that we are strong and smart in the world and fix our democracy by focusing on, and I am so happy that she has said this, focusing on dark, unaccountable money, which is manipulating the entire political system, so much so that Hillary Clinton has pledged that as president she would support a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United, which is the first thing that we can do if we were ever going to get any kind of progress for anyone in this country that's not a white, straight man over the age of 50. Let's be honest here. Now, I'm hoping that as I talk today, that this is getting through to you, and that you are, to a certain extent, inspired and that you want to become involved. I encourage you to go to, of course, www.hillaryclinton.com to learn more about the Hillary campaign. I have sign-up sheets underneath here, which I will be reading out to you. Bonnie's going to kind of be my contact person. I'm going to send you lots and lots of PDFs and stuff, and stickers and all of that stuff as the campaign goes on, so that way you all have access to that information, and you're always in some way, shape, or form connected to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pantsuits movement. And that's Hillary for America. Now, this really isn't about Hillary, believe it or not. It's about you. It really is. As egotistical as some people say that she is, I've seen it differently over the course of the last 8 years. She touched me when I was 16 years old in a way that she changed my life. I grew up in Clinton, Ohio. I went to Clinton Elementary, and I voted for Hillary Clinton. That was the first person I ever had to vote for. You know, she just has inspired me so much, and this really is not about her. It's about you, it's about us, and about people who deserve a champion who is always going to stand up and fight back against the special interests and fight for every single one of us in this room. You know, Hillary Clinton, of course, has been called a lot of things in her life, but I think there's one thing that we can all agree on. The positives and the negatives that she's been called, she has never been called a quitter. Never a quitter. Hillary has never quit, and she never will, and neither can we. It's going to take much more than